Hello and welcome to this tutorial on indifference curves. Today we'll talk how indifference curves are made, what are different indifference curves, what is an indifference curve map, and what is marginal rate of substitution. So let us start with this topic of indifference curves. Now, what are indifference curves? Indifference curves are basically points representing the bundles which are considered indifferent by the consumers. Indifferent by the consumers meaning that it hardly matters to the consumer if he is getting the good A or good B. Let us understand this with help of this example. Suppose I have rupees 20. Now I need to buy a pen in these rupees 20. The options available are I could buy a blue pen or I could buy a black pen. It hardly matters to me if I am buying a blue pen or a black pen. Doesn't really matter to me. So what are the various possible options to me? I could buy four of these and none of black, or I could buy three of blue and one of black, or I could buy two of each kind, or I could buy one and three, zero and four. So basically, these are various combinations possible for me that I could buy from these rupees 20 when I am indifferent to blue and black, a choice of blue and black. So if we try and plot a graph of this, the graph would look somewhat like this. We have a 4 and 0, then we have a 3 and 1, 3 and 1, then we have a 2 and 2, then there is a 1 for 3, and lastly we have a 0 for 4. This would be the indifference curve. If I could draw a line from here, this is the consumer's indifference curve for product A and for product B. He is indifferent. He could buy any combination and it doesn't really matter to him what is he buying, so long as he is getting blue and black. Now, in real life, the choices between two products are never so linear. That is, for 4 and 0, 3 and 1, the choices are generally never so linear. The choices are following a principle of marginal rate of substitution. What is marginal rate of substitution? To understand it very simply, easily, marginal rate of substitution says that the amount of good B, the amount of good B that you are ready to part with, the amount of good B that you are ready to part with for getting additional A. The amount of good B that you are ready to part with for getting additional of A is more initially. Initially, you are ready to part with higher quantities of B for single quantity of A. But as you go on replacing B by A, as you keep on parting with your B, as you keep on giving up your B for A, soon a time comes when you are not ready to part so much of B. And a time comes that I am ready to part with only two of the B's. Then a time comes when for 1A, it might so happen that you are ready to part for only 1B. A time might also come for 1A, you are not ready to part with any B's. Let us understand this once again. B and A. Let us say A is water and B is money. So for first glass of water, when you are very thirsty, when you are dying of thirst, for first glass of water, you might be ready to pay, let us put it this way. For first glass of water, you might be ready to pay me, sorry, not a good color. For first glass of water, you are ready to pay me 20 rupees. So you have parted with 20 of your rupees for only one glass of water. But once you have had this glass of water, now you are not so much thirsty. Not now you are not dying of that thirst. But still, for another glass of water, if I offer you, you might give me 10 rupees. Because your thirst is over. Now you no more need it for your thirst. Now you need to replenish your water levels in your body. The thirst is at least not killing you. So you are now not ready to part with 20 rupees, rather, you are ready to part with 10 rupees only. Now, look at this situation. Earlier, for a glass of water, you gave me 20 rupees. Now, for that very same glass of water, you are ready to give me only 10 rupees. What is happening? The resource level of the quantity of A is going up, but the amount you are ready to part with of B is going down. For next glass of water, maybe you will part with only 5 rupees. And for next glass of water, maybe you are not ready to part with any money, because now you have sufficiently had some water for another hour or so. So now you are not dying of thirst and you are not ready to part with B. This is marginal rate of substitution. Initially, the rate of substitution is high for a product, and then generally it goes down from 20 to 10, 10 to 5, from 3 units to 2 units, 2 units to 1 unit, and 1 unit nothing, 20 to 10, 10 to 5, and 5 to 0 for that same glass of water. This is marginal rate of substitution. Now, when we are studying indifference curve, this marginal rate of substitution also kicks in. What we saw here was a linear replacement. For every unit of B, for every unit of A, I was ready to part with a unit of B. Or in our case, blue and black. For every unit of black, I was ready to give away one more, one down, one more, one down, one more, one down. So for every unit of black, I was ready to part with equal units of blue. So this was a very much linear relationship. Generally in real life, the relationships between goods are not so much linear. Rather, they follow the principle of marginal rate of substitution. Now, if a good follows marginal rate of substitution, then definitely its curve will not be linear, rather it will be convex. It will be convex to the origin. Let us see why it will be convex to the origin. Here is another plot. Now let us make a convex curve and we'll see if that makes sense instead of this linear curve. So this is our curve. Now let me plot some more lines so that we could understand. Here. Now, here we have these lines. If we have a closer look at these, what is happening? If I wish to increase number of units from 1 to 2, so right now I am positioned over here. I have, let this be A and B. For one A, I have 6 Bs. If I make it here A and B. For one A, I have 6 Bs. Now, if I wish to add to my tally of A, if I wish to add to my tally of A and I want 2 of A's, I want to go to this level. I want 2 of A's. Now I have increased my tally from 1 to 2 and my tally of B has come down from 6 to 4. So how much am I ready to part with? I'm down to 4. How much have I parted with for B? I parted with 2 units. Now suppose I wish to increase my tally of A further. This is almost 3 and you can call it 2.9. How much have I parted with? Only 1.1. If I advance further, it becomes 4, and this is almost 2.2. You could call it 2.2. Now I've gone to 4, it has come down to 2.2. How much have I parted? 0.7. I go to 5, this comes to 1.5 literally. I go to 6, it is almost 1.4, that is 0.1. Now if you have a look at these numbers, what is happening? Initially I was ready to part this much amount for 1 unit. Second time, only this much amount. Third time, only this much. Fourth time, only this much. Fifth time, only this much. Sixth, seventh, eighth, you won't be able to see. So I believe that this convex curve explains me the indifference curve better than this linear curve, right? So from here on, for indifference curve, will not be making a linear curve. Rather, we'll be making use of a convex curve, because this convex curve seems to be giving me a better explanation of indifference curve. Now let us clean this up. Now, so this is our indifference curve. This convex curve is our indifference curve, and it is convex to the origin. We call it convex to the origin. Right? Now this was indifference curve. Our next thing that we are talking today is indifference map. What is indifference map? If you have seen our other video on the budget set, in that video we saw the movement of the budget line towards left or right. The movement of the budget line towards left or right is determined by our budget. Now, this is the combination of commodities of A and B that I'm buying, that I'm ready to buy. This is a combination. All these I'm ready to buy. 1 6, then it is a 2 4, then it is a 3 3, then it is a 4 2, then it is a 5 1.5. These are the combinations of A and B that I'm ready to buy. But if my income increases, I'll draw this indifference curve once again, and then we'll start from there. Now, this is my indifference curve, or let me call it indifference curve 1. Now, if my purchasing power increases, what happens? I have more of money. If I have more of money, then definitely I can buy more of goods. So, for increased purchasing power, this indifference curve might shift upwards. That is to say, to a rightward position, upward or rightwards. And if my purchasing power goes down, if my income goes down, this indifference curve might slide to the left to give me IC3. What is happening in these cases? This is my indifference curve to start with. As my income level increases, as I get more and more purchasing power, my indifference curve moves towards right. And as my purchasing power goes down, my indifference curve might move towards left. Now, purchasing power or my budget or my income or salary is only one factor governing the movement of indifference curve. But it is a very easy factor to relate to movement of graphs, as we saw in budget line. Almost same is the phenomena with indifference curves also for movement. Yes, there are other factors also that govern the movement of indifference curve, like change in preferences could be a factor, change in availability could be a factor, change in prices could be a factor. So this is my indifference curve. This is my indifference curve, and this is my indifference map. What is an indifference map? Indifference map is set of all indifference curves of a consumer for two commodities A and B. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Leave your comments, queries, and suggestions below, and click these cards to view more of our videos related to the video you just watched. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you have not already subscribed to. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.